What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to another um, video. Um, just something I wanted to talk about with y'all because um, I see a lot of people go through it, and it's something that I've kind of struggled with in the past, and something that I've went through and been through, and I had to learn how to do because of certain things that I went through, just coming up in life and getting older and dealing with more situations. But the thing that I wanted to come on here and say to y'all and kind of leave y'all with this message is whenever you feel like you're stuck or like you're trapped in a rut, um, or your life is not moving or going anywhere, um, the best thing to keep doing is keep trying to move, right? Just keep moving forward. Never give up and give in to defeat, because that's how life kills you, right? That's how life beats you down, is making you think and making you believe that there's nothing that you can change or there's nothing that you can do. So, we've all had our moments of times in life where we feel like nothing's working and, life is all bad. And no matter what I do, I can't improve anything or fix anything that's going on or fix anything that's broken. And it can really beat you up mentally. It can really change your mindset and have you look at life with a negative perspective or a negative through a negative lens. Um, and my advice and what's kind of worked for me is, it's been moments where, um, I just thought like, wow, like this is life for me. Like I'm trying my hardest to, be positive and change things and do better, but I can't move. Nothing's changing. Um, every time I try something, I fail. Um, and it can really eat at you. But I always knew better because I had read this book when I was younger, when I was in high school, and it was called The Power of Positive Thinking. It's by Norman Vincent Peale, I believe the author is. Um, and he says the best thing to do is just keep moving. Like, go do something you haven't done before. Get out the house. Don't just, sit there and wallow in your sadness or your, kind of like depressive state. Get out and do things, try things, go do things that challenge you. If you're afraid to, go up to somebody and talk to them, do it. If you're afraid to go up to that place of business and ask to see if they're hiring or if they have any positions or any employment opportunities, go do it. You know what I mean? Just go up there and talk to them and take that leap of faith. Have that courage to do something you're afraid of or do something that you're scared to do, because you never know. You never know what God has in store for you. You never know what God is working on, and God can change your life in an instance. With a snap of a finger, or with one moment of you just trying something that you never even thought would work. Um, just don't sit there and allow yourself to be defeated. I'm pretty sure you've heard the saying that you only have one life. We only have one life. And you can never get that time back. You can never go back in time and do things differently. So um, life is full of ups and downs, and some would even argue that it has more downs than ups. Um, but knowing that, that should give you all the more reason to appreciate the ups. It should give you all the more reason to try to chase and appreciate the good times, because you're going to get the bad times. Life is going to knock you down no matter what you do, where you are, who you are. So, because of the rainy days, you have to know when to appreciate the sunny ones. Um, so, that's the message that I wanted to kind of get on here and just leave y'all with is, if you ever feel like you're stuck, or if you're trapped or nothing's working, life is all bad and every day that's passing, it just feels like it's the same shit over and over, and you're just struggling, and you're unhappy and things are just fucked up. Don't sit there in that. Like, don't let that linger, and don't believe that that's the only thing that life has to offer for you. get out there and just keep moving, keep trying things. Be around friends, be around people that make you feel special, make you laugh, make you smile. Be around people that can give you a good time. Your loved ones, um, and don't let life defeat you. Just keep moving. Um, I know it feels like I'm saying the same thing over and over, but this is what you have to do. You kind of have to do the same thing over and over just to get out of that. You kind of have to force yourself to get out the house and uh, go do things that make you happy, and try not to think about how bad or how negative life can be. Um, and try to focus on the positives. Like for instance, I guess I'll get a little like personal with you guys. Like for the past couple uh probably months, it's been decent, okay. Like I've been keeping my head high, and been able to be positive for the most part, and not really worry about anything. Just try to keep working hard, try to find new opportunities. Um, for those that don't know, maybe I already said it, but I'm an actor, and just my career hasn't really been going well in terms of opportunities and trying to book certain jobs and find roles and make money or anything like that, and it can weigh really heavily on me. Um, and because that's you know going bad or not going well, and I'm struggling with that. That's part of the reason I made a YouTube channel, is to kind of just have that freedom to post my thoughts and kind of get my creative juices flowing of what I'm thinking about, what I want to do, and kind of things I want to work on, and um, not necessarily have to wait on a casting director or a producer, right? And I can just talk about what I want to talk about, be myself in front of a camera, and post it when I feel like it. Edit it and post it whenever I feel. So, but yeah, for the past couple of months, I've been for the most part okay. Just working hard. Working at my job. Meeting new people. Um, but in that time, in the past couple of months, there's been times where things have been hard. Like with my career or just with other things in life. Wanting to make more money. Figuring out how to make more money. Finally, I've been helping my mom, but um, figuring out how to make enough money so I can eventually move out, and support myself. I turned 21 in like 14 days. Um, so, it's about that time for me to, get out there and take the next step and everything. So just figuring that out, it can weigh, or it has weighed heavily on my mind. And I've been kind of in that state where I'm just like, damn, life is pretty fucked up. And um, I can't, I can't figure this out. And it can be very detrimental to not only your mental health, but just everything around you. And it can bring you down. And now you're not enjoying life as much. Um, but one thing I always told myself was, I'm going to make sure, no matter what I go through, I'm going to make sure that I get the most out of life, as much as I can. Because I'm only here for a limited amount of time, and I only get this one life. So even with me struggling and with me being down and struggling with everything else that I have going on, I always told myself that I wasn't going to just sit here and allow myself to you know s- drown in my sorrow. And I've been leaving the house. I've just went to this new church, that's about 13 minutes from my house. Went to this new church that my homie had told me about, and I started going there, and it seems really good. It's like a not like a mega church, but something like that. I don't really know the term to use, but it's a big cathedral, and it's a whole lot of people, and um, they seem very nice, and it's a big community, and they're very tight knit. Everybody seems to know each other, and everybody's very friendly. The pastor or the preacher, he was real passionate up on stage, giving the sermon and doing the service. Um, and you can just tell like everybody's very passionate about what they believe in and about Christ, which I am too. And yeah, my homie had told me, he had mentioned it to me. He was like, just try out this church, and maybe you can meet somebody, or maybe you can meet new people, and start to put yourself in a community where you can be around people that bring the best out of you, and be around people that have the same passions and love as you, and it's all good, and it can be something special. So I just told myself, what the hell, why not just try it? And I did it, and the first time I went, it was really good, and I plan on keep going, and just to put myself in something that can be very beneficial to me, and be a part of a community, and do things, and reach new people, and um, try to be a part of new experiences, that may be fun, that may spark my interest. And I've made that a point in my life to always, tell myself to try to be spontaneous, do things that I haven't done before, or haven't even thought about doing in the past, and do it now. So, yeah, so I really enjoy it, and other things like, I stay in Atlanta, so I haven't been to the Beltline, going to the Beltline, just walking around, seeing what that has to offer. Um, just going new places, trying new things. Whenever somebody recommends something to me, I talk to a lot of people. I try to be, social for the most part. Naturally, I'm very to myself, and, kind of introverted, and like to observe and just chill. But, I can be very social and talk to people. And whenever somebody recommends something to me about going to a new place, or trying new things, I make it a point to do it, and try to go get that experience. So yeah, I feel like I've been yapping for a minute. It's coming up on 12 minutes now, actually. So yeah, I just wanted to give you guys that mental, wisdom nugget, that you can take with you, because I know, right now, life is not the best thing, and it's not the best of times, and everybody, it seems like they trying to figure it out, and they struggling, and we all trying to make it. So if you ever get to that point or moment where it's like, damn, like, how am I gonna get out of this? How am I gonna, get through this? And no matter what I'm doing, I keep failing, and life is not getting better, and you just feel like you're stuck, and you have no hope, and you just saying, fuck it. Like, don't let that eat you alive. Don't let that kill you. Get out here and just keep moving, keep trying things that you never tried before. Do what you're scared to do. Because most of us, we have a plan, but we're scared to execute. We know that we want to go up to this person, and we want to ask them something, or we know we want to go up to this business, and we want to try to ask for an opportunity, or try to get a raise or a promotion or whatever. Or we know we want to go to this event, or to this building, whatever, and we know we just need to network. We need to talk to people and get our name out there, and see what they have to offer, and just ask. You know, I know that we all know the phrase "closed mouths don't get fed." You know what I mean? So speak. Ask questions. Tell them that you're starving. You know what I mean? Tell them shit. Tell them that you're hungry, and they might just throw you something to eat. So, um, yeah, I just wanted to leave y'all with that. Um, and as always, much love to everybody out there. For anybody that is, watching, if you can, please subscribe, like the video. Like I said, I'm trying to get a video out like this every week. So yeah. And y'all stay safe. God bless. And we'll see y'all in the next video. Peace.